The New York Times dropped an expose on Andrew Tate earlier this morning, and these allegations are absolutely horrifying. It's really, really, really bad. Now, come to find out, though, because the one thing we did learn from this expose is his criminal charges have not completely gone away. So we know that the Romania court, that the prosecutors brought a case to get him charged. However, the court invalidated it and told them to amend it and come back. He's still the subject of an investigation, and the Romanian prosecutors are still building a case on him. On top of Andrew Tate still being the subject of an investigation currently ongoing, the women who were the subjects of this New York Times expose against Andrew Tate, they have came forward and told New York Times that they are currently cooperating with Romanian officials, and they are ready and willing to testify against Andrew Tate. The expose is like a really, really, really long read, which I don't know if it's bad news for Andrew Tate or good news for Andrew Tate. On one hand, it's probably too long for most people who are just curious fans to get through. On the other hand, if it's that long, that meant they have enough evidence or have enough receipts or have enough information to pack on to make it that unreadable, which means the officials probably have the same information. Now, they addressed his pimping pads, him beating women, putting hands on women. But much of that stuff you probably already heard before. But I do want to get to the essay, which I feel like is like the most serious things, where multiple women are coming forward and they're accusing Andrew Tate of raping them. One of the girls who did some cam girl work for Andrew Tate, she would document multiple times where she would say Andrew Tate raped her. Now, one of the incidents was apparently on the second night of her working as a cam girl in this hotel. She fell asleep and woke up. Now, when she woke up, she says Andrew Tate was behind her, touching her legs. Then she says he pulled down her underwear and grabbed her throat, forcing himself inside of her. And he will say, "You're such a good little girl." She remembered him saying while he choked her until she struggled for breath. Navarro said that she repeatedly told Andrew Tate to stop and try to loosen his grip on her throat, but he continued. That was not the last time he did it. That was the first time, not the last, because that same woman would also claim that one morning she woke up to Andrew Tate and another woman having intercourse next to her. She shushed them, and the woman got up and went into the bathroom. And when she was gone, Navarro says that Andrew Tate put her in a chokehold and raped her for a second time. Though she clawed at his arms, he wouldn't release his grip. She says she was scared that he was going to kill her. She told him, she told the person who was reporting this, then the woman emerged from the shower and he rode off of her once the other woman came back. On top of just the sheer accusations, why this looks so bad is because multiple women kind of share similar stories of exactly how he raped them. Now, I would say him going to court with these allegations and the court refusing to indict, or even when he, had the court case in the UK, there was a warrant out for his arrest. He shows up, they refuse to file criminal charges. So at every step he takes, he, for the most part, has beaten all of the criminal charges, even though that he has never been to court, but he goes to court and the judge invalidates the criminal charge, said this is not enough, it's not strong enough, fix it, or the UK just refusing to charge him at all. He has somehow defeated all criminal charges. So that's, to me, works in his favor. It's hard for us to say, these allegations are true, or that, he's guilty, or offer some type of serious indictment here when he has beaten all the criminal charges. However, an indictment on him, I would say, is women from different walks of life, from different planets of the earth who were not communicating with each other, had similar stories of how they were raped. In terms of the one woman, Navarro claims that he came from behind her, put her in a chokehold, right, before putting himself inside of her forcibly. Another woman, Lauren Southern, who accusations, by the way, is not new. She has came out, I think, last year and accused Andrew Tate of this. However, this New York Times expose shined a really huge light on her accusations, and she was interviewed and she gave, I guess, her recollection of it again. So we would talk about her new statement, but she would claim that Andrew Tate would press his arms up against her throat and stop her from breathing or reaching when he did it. So those are similar women. Well, those are similar stories from two different women, describing exactly how he was able to rape them, and they both had similar details on how he did it. So to me, that looks bad, and that's crazy. Lauren Southern is actually a content creator who used to do trad content. She at some point, I think disavowed or denounced the trad content. And her content, according to her, was actually the reason why it took so long for her to come out and expose Andrew Tate, because apparently this incident with Andrew Tate took place in 2018, but she didn't come out until like 2025 or 2024. A friend of Andrew Tate invited Lauren Southern to Romania to give her the opportunity to have a business meeting with Andrew Tate and ask him for money to invest in something. Now, Andrew Tate will later brag on like his podcast and other shows of his that she came for a business meeting to invest and he ain't invest $1. So he'll kind of brag about how I ain't invest $1 and I still got the crack. Now, she will claim that, when she got there, they went out to a bar, they ordered bottle services, they took a couple shots of vodka, and she suddenly began to feel her consciousness was collapsing. According to her, when she woke up, she was in bed with Andrew Tate at the hotel, at her hotel. Now, according to her, Andrew Tate started kissing her and pulling off her clothes. Now, she told the reporter that she tried to push his hands away, but he wouldn't stop. Then he hooked his arms around her neck, just like the other woman said. He put his arms around her neck and stopped her from breathing or stop her circulation. So when Andrew Tate hooked his arm around her neck and started to squeeze, she remembers thinking, oh, ish, this guy is actually going to grape me. Lauren Southern, who is anti-abortion and was terrified of getting pregnant, she began to plead with Andrew Tate, I know what you're going to do here. Please just wear a condom, please. Lauren Southern remembers fading in and out of consciousness as Andrew Tate raped her unprotected and choked her. Afterwards, he sat on the edge of the bed and says, don't tell the press I raped you. Now, according to her, she said that she can't tell the press even if she wanted to, because her entire brand was shaming women for going out drinking with men, being promiscuous. So if she would have came out and said, yo, he raped me back in 2018 when she was still part of this like traditional trad wife, tradcon scene, and admitted to going out drinking with a man that she met that night and got raped by him, well, then her entire brand would be ruined according to her. So, and that's what she told him, right? My whole brand is literally talking about how stupid women get themselves in situations like this. There's nothing I can say without destroying my career, so congratulations. Now, in a car to the airport, Lauren Southern says she discovered burst blood vessels around her eyes and marks on her neck. Back in Toronto, she was examined by a nurse who specialized in SA. On an assessment form, the nurse recorded that Lauren Southern had been raped and strangled by a well-known male at a hotel in Romania and has suffered an intimate injury. So she at least went and got a rape kit and got it documented in 2018, even though she didn't go public. All right. Listen, I've never had to choose between outing the person who raped me and keeping my career. I've never had to choose between the two. I never had to choose between not outing the person who raped me because I had to protect the grift and alarm. I'm not saying, okay, she's lying. I'm not a woman. I don't know what I'll do in that position. What I can say, though, is she did herself a grave injustice, though, because 7 years later, you chose to come out and expose him. By that time, it's already too late, right? What real physical evidence can the police have 7 years later that they can use to arrest Andrew Tate? So because a police investigation is a non-factor, there would never truly be a fair way to figure out who's lying and who's telling the truth, right? And if, you're Lauren Southern and you self-admittedly so was grifted a particular part of the internet, right, by claiming to be this traditional con wife, but yet you're outside drinking, partying with men, right, and that was not a lifestyle that you was living, you kind of have to say, you know what, Andrew Tate has multiple rape accusations. You have admitted you are a documented liar. It's kind of 50-50 at this point. A month after the incident, she sent Andrew Tate a text trying to get him to admit or confess to doing that to her via text messages. So she wrote him and says, it was really crappy what you did that night in Bucharest. She wrote, I'm not going to tell anyone, obviously, because I was an absolute moron, but I hope you don't do that to anyone else. Tate replied, what did I do? I expected tons better from you. This message is some liberal Me Too bullish. She responded back, you literally strangled me when I said I didn't want to have intercourse. You literally told me in the morning, don't tell the press I raped you. Andrew Tate responded back, you are absolutely embarrassing yourself. Now, I don't think No. If Andrew Tate was guilty, he don't come across as a stupid criminal. Like, Andrew Tate don't come across as one of those dudes who will see a message like that and get to self-incriminate. He sounds like a very calculated human being. Now, one of Andrew Tate's homies, Tommy Robinson, who invited Lauren Southern on behalf of Andrew Tate, he been coming out, like speaking out against like Lauren Southern, saying Andrew Tate is innocent. And they went back and forth last year. So here's Lauren Southern actually breaking down why exactly, I guess, Andrew Tate and his team has been lying on her and why Andrew Tate is guilty.
She went back out to Romania to see him again. I know she went back out to see him.
She went back out to see him. She goes back out to see him?
She flew back out to see him.
You see, the only problem with that little tale, Tommy, is you took the story too far. If you just kept it to kind of things that couldn't really be proven, you might have gotten away with it too. But I happen to have travel documents that directly disprove this claim, 100%. I went once to Romania with you, one entry, one exit, in 2018 when you took me to a business meeting to meet your pimp friend. And here's the thing, Tommy, I don't even think you could give a date when I went back. I don't think you could even give a ballpark, not least of all because you just made it up, but also because you would trip over another lie, another location I was at. Seriously, if you are a follower of Tommy's and you believe his version of events and the things that he's saying about me, ask him. Say, Tommy, hey, when did Lauren go back to Romania? Ballpark, not even exact day. Don't need that. Week, month even. He won't be able to give you an answer because he lied. And every single thing he has said in the past few months, I guess it's been years now, about me, has been to cover his own ass and to cover for his sex trafficker friend. Like I said, I may not be able to disprove every single fabrication you've told about me. That's just he said, she said. But I can disprove this one. And I'd like to think when it's something this serious and a lie that big, it'll make intelligent people think twice about all the other things you're saying about me. And you know, the craziest part to me is that even if the rest of the stuff you made up, like that story about seeing me in the hotel or, even going back to Romania, even if that stuff was true, it wouldn't discount anything else that I said. It wouldn't. And I hope people press you on this. I hope they ask you, when did she go back to Romania, Tommy? Even better, what was the first thing she said to you when you saw her in the taxi in the morning? Why won't you answer that? Because this is serious. It's not just about us. There are 40 plus victims, known victims, women and girls, British women and minors, the very people you claim to protect. This isn't just about our egos or our reputations. This is a much bigger case than that. Like, seriously, if you're watching this, forget about me. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I mean, obviously I've seen all of the crazy stuff about myself on X, on the internet. Of course.
If they're lying about things that are obviously debunkable, then to me, you have to ask yourself, why are they lying? Like, why are they saying, hey, she came back to visit when, again, if you come back to visit, you have like re-entry like documents, right? You have travel documents. You have things where you could prove, hey, I was here. Yo, here's a stamp of my visa. Right? So like you could show, hey, I don't have a re-entry document, right? There's no travel documents that shows that I came back. And if she didn't come back, then why are you lying? Why are you trying to set it up and frame it this way, right? You will only lie about something if you have something to hide. Now, again, as a public figure, well, I wouldn't even consider myself like a public figure, but I'm somebody who I guess is visible online. I understand that all it takes is somebody coming out and saying something about you. So I'm going to be sensitive in that regard and not fully indict Andrew Tate, until they go back to court with another indictment and have that validated. And if, listen, man, if he has his day in court and he gets found guilty, then we can have the conversation. But as of now, if every time he goes to court, they're saying we don't have enough evidence, how can we call this man guilty yet? Okay. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here, somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, to find out why Chud the Builder is begging and crying in a message from jail after getting this really bad message from the warden. I'm gonna see you guys in this video right here, somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Send me a hype below if you really want to support. Out of here, folks.